Donatas, I'm a bit disappointed. I'm not going to lie. This was the most anticipated game of the night in this EuroBasket opening night. But Turkey, Latvia actually was disappointing.
We thought, it's the real EuroBasket opener. Two big teams with two big NBA players facing each other. You're not sure which team will win. The importance is high. You hear this incredible Latvian anthem before the game, packed Riga Arena. Like, it starts now. And if somebody was... Our colleague, actually, Mantas Ramelis, was in the office in the first half, and he was like, we should stream you guys watching the game because we were shouting. There were a lot of highlights. We were still, hyped about the game. But in the second half, when Martinez came here to replace him, I think he was like, he thought that something is going wrong, in this place. Nobody's watching EuroBasket. Something is like, it's a library or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's how it shifted from being hyped up to like a graveyard. So yeah, it feels different. It's a stunner. I call it a stunner because I saw Latvia potentially losing this game. I just didn't see that coming in this fashion. Turkey winning by 20. By the way, it's their historically highest win against the host nation in the EuroBasket tournaments, and there was no question who was better tonight. So, and for hosts, it's a big beat in the beginning of the competition, and I think it raised a lot of questions for a lot of people, both inside the national team and also outside the team, the Latvians. And then on top of that, you have Žagars injured again. So, I mean, I think Latvia is stunned at the moment.
Yeah, and Turkey, of course, got this confidence boost, I guess, because some people probably, looked at them as even below Latvia, including myself. But
although we did this power ranking before the EuroBasket, I think we put them fifth.
Yeah.
In our combined
we
power
did,
ranking.
Yeah, we did put them a bit higher than Latvia. We did in the predictions.
And let's not forget, in our latest Q&A session that you should watch on Beyond Plus, we were anticipating that Latvia might be this disappointing of the tournament because of the expectations.
Yeah.
Maybe being a little bit overhyped or even overrated after a couple of last tournaments with these big names coming at home and stuff like that. So yeah.
I mean, what you said, that it's a stunner, I can't say that it stunned me just because of how I looked at the first half, let's say, and I right away saw the tendencies. And what I saw was that there's one guy who can create with the ball on Latvia's side, and the rest of the guys are just capable of being sort of in a role of catching and shooting the ball. And as soon as Artur Žagars was out of the game, actually that creation stopped. You saw just a lot of swinging the ball around the perimeter, and someone's taking a three-pointer. That's the whole offense that Turkey had to deal with. And I guess that wasn't a tough task because you don't have any threats from the post-ups. You don't have any threats from the penetration game. All you need to do is rotate well and get the closeouts. That's it. And Kristaps Porzingis is not a big threat, as we saw in this game. Actually, if anyone's going to point fingers in Latvian media, Latvian fans, I think they're going to point at their usual leaders. In this case, you would say Kristaps Porzingis, probably 10 points, 3 out of 12 from the field.
0 from 5 from the three-point line.
Yep.
Dairis Bertens.
6 turnovers, by the way.
Porzingis made 6 turnovers.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and I did kind of see those turnovers, and they saved in my memory.
Dairis Bertens, your second most reliable shooter, or even the most reliable shooter, he hit 1 of 6, and the first one came in the end of the third quarter when it was like a clear dominance by Turkey.
Yeah, and I guess those two guys, who, like I said, they're not the guys to play with the ball. When you have a leader who is more of a pick and pop big. Both of these guys, what their strengths are in the NBA is usually pick and pop or a high post for Kristaps, but you don't expect these guys to all of a sudden start playing with the ball. And when they did, 6 turnovers is the result.
They had a leader at one point of the game, but he got injured. You remember Artur Žagars? He was doing crazy things. We were like grabbing our heads, like taking crazy shots and doing Žalgiris things that we were kind of used to him doing that. But the guy got injured.
And it's something that defines his career. He has these flashes of brilliance, and then all that momentum gets stopped by an injury. And unfortunately, again, we saw another injury let's hope a minor injury. He didn't look too hurt on the bench. He just looked a bit in pain, but he wasn't playing from that point on in the third quarter. So,
and let's not forget he had those injury problems during the preparation as well.
Yeah.
So who knows if it kind of got even worse. That might be worrisome for the team. And like you mentioned, those 3-pointers, and it was just too wild in many occasions. And they actually attempted 38 3-pointers. So even if you hit 13, that's only 34%. And 13 for Latvia is like it's an average thing. But on the other end, I mean, scoring 73 points is not enough for Latvia to win games. They allowed 93, and I think that their preparation average was like 94. Yeah. So they didn't make any conclusions. They even, kind of couldn't play under the pressure, I guess, under the hype as well. Yeah. They couldn't deliver at all. And at the same time, you have a really, really solid Turkish team. And it was actually a weird feeling because in my eyes and by Alperen Sengun standards, he didn't actually have a great game.
Not at all.
His numbers were actually fine. 16 points, 8 rebounds and 7 assists.
And 5 turnovers.
but 5 turnovers. And in a lot of situations, it looked like he was clearly forcing the game. But guys who made difference, they were like those who nobody anticipated. Because I remember before the game, we were saying like, oh, it's going to be Sengun against Porzingis.
Yeah.
A great headline for the video that we are about to make.
Which is going to be the headline. Anyways.
True. And yeah, Cedi Osman made a huge difference. 20 points, very solid performance for him. Shane Larkin got crazy in the third quarter. He had 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. But guys I loved the most was Kenan Sipahi and Sermuj Hazer. Role players making the difference. First of all, with Sipahi, who's actually, I would say, in the European media or European basketball community as he's underrated player, although in the locker room he's a very important voice for the guys. I think that captain, Cedi Osman is the captain, but Kenan Sipahi has all the abilities to be actually called a captain because how impactful he is in the locker room. He was amazing shooting the ball. He hit threes 5 from 5.
He hit
that was a stunner.
He hit every shot in the game. He finished with 26 efficiency and 37 plus minus. If you're talking about impact, 37 plus minus is unheard of.
Second best was plus 20 by Cedi Osman.
Yeah.
37 in 28 minutes.
That's insane. And he started, actually, he didn't really play in those preparation games as much. I don't remember him playing that much against Lithuania in those 2 games, but this game he was a starter. Ergin Ataman said he's going to be the guy. Another guy you mentioned also, Sermuj Hazer, with his poster dunk over Kristaps.
You should all learn his name, how to pronounce the guy's name.
Well, I should probably as well. But that dunk, man, he got through the I think he drove through the baseline and just got up. I thought he's going up for a layup, but he just stuffed it over Kristaps Porzingis. Not just over him, but through his block. Porzingis had his hand on the ball. He just ignored that, powered through, and the ball got into the rim. I was shocked by that play. And like you said, I don't want to repeat what you said, but
he was making plays, and most importantly, especially in defense, he made 2 steals in the second quarter, but there were also a lot of deflections. He was breaking the ball movement by Latvia, which I think was the key for in the first half for setting the tone. And in the third, guys like Shane Larkin, or Sipahi, for instance, or Osman, I mean, they continued playing in a very solid fashion and just were brilliant, really. It was a brilliant performance by Turkey, given the fact that they played against hosts in the EuroBasket opener against a very solid team that we all saw at least in the quarterfinals.
For sure. It doesn't mean that Latvia now is completely written off. They're a team that lives by the 3, dies by the 3. This game, like you said, they shot even more threes than they shot 2-pointers. 38 threes, 24 2-pointers. Obviously, it didn't work out for them, but they can go on those hot runs like we saw them getting back in the game in the beginning of the third quarter. So they're not done. Obviously, they're playing at home. They're going to have some really important games now, obviously against the bottom teams, but
and let's be honest, they still look as the third best team in the group, even after losing this game. So let's say Serbia or Turkey will be the first, and then Latvia should be better than Portugal, Estonia, or Czech Republic. And even if you end up in the third place, potentially in the 8 finalists, you're facing the team from Finland, which might be either Finland, Lithuania, or Germany, or not. And if you advance, if you go past through that team, you're probably from the third spot in this group, you're facing the potentially group winners of the group of Greece, Spain, and Italy. So it's like it's not like the mission impossible. I think if they kind of catch up their game, if they improve their game, because there has to be conclusions to be made. Because I watched them in a couple of the preparation games. I didn't see much improvement in their performance. They're still really, really, really bad defensively. Offensively, they're wild, and they depend on like 3-point shooting.
Too one-dimensional, I would say. They need to diversify their offense, because now they're predictable. You know that they're going to swing the ball around, shoot a 3-pointer. So they need to do something, but on the other hand, they might not have the personnel to do so. So we'll see.
Their problem.
What Turkey showed is that they can stop a team like that. We'll see how they'll do.
They're really solid, and let's not forget, Alperen Sengun didn't have his solid game yet. That's a scary part for the others. Great start for the Turkey.